All right, guys. Well, here I have a 68 RFE transmission, and we're gonna do a rebuild on this transmission. We're gonna do a teardown inspection first and see what we're gonna find. So let's go ahead and get started tearing this thing down. As always, remove everything on the outside first, and then we go into the barrel of the case. Let's go ahead and remove our input and output speed sensors. They should come out fairly easily. Here we go. Input and output speed sensors. Now here there is a snap ring. We're gonna take this cover off. Let me go ahead and flip it over so you guys can see it. This cover here has a snap ring. Go ahead and get the snap ring out of the way. And we're gonna push this cover from the inside. All right, let's go ahead and take the extension housing off. That's a 15mm bolt sockets. This transmission is more like a 45 RFE, but this is actually a 6-speed transmission. There are two little notches on the sides to remove the extension housing. You need to look for them. This extension housing does not take any gasket. So it's held together by, sealed together by silicone. There is no gasket on it. There's our output shaft. It has a bearing here. You can remove it or you can just spin it. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. 4x4s. The output shaft is the same. Actually, you just attach the extension 4x4 extension housing, and the transfer case will just go into here. So you really don't have to change anything. This is our extension housing, and the transfer case, the 4x4, has a real short extension housing where the transfer case mounts to. All right, get that thing out of the way. Now here we're going to remove this snap ring right quick. We got this snap ring, and you can actually get a magnet or two magnets, and it should come out fairly easily. Slide out. My magnet just gave up the ghost. All right, now let's go ahead and flip it over. We're going to remove our pan. This is actually off a tow truck. I have the fan on. It's a little bit hot in here, so I hope you guys don't mind the humming sound of the fan. It's the fan. It's not an audio problem. It's the fan on. Tap it a little bit. Let's go ahead and take a look at the inside of the pan. It looks fairly clean. It looks real clean. It has a gasket, so it's been serviced. Get this thing out of the way, and we get a Torx 25. We remove our filter. Actually, I see a problem here. Did you see that? Cooler return filter is loose. That could be a possible issue for failure. It was not even hand tight. Get that out of the way. 8 millimeters. Just pry it a little bit and it should come up fairly easily. I want to move your linkage a little bit. There we go. We're going to set the valve body here to the side for now, and we're going to come back and disassemble it here in a bit. All right. One thing that y'all guys need to pay attention to is this snap ring right here, the opening. It needs to clear. If you go over in this opening, the snap ring covers this. You're gonna have an issue with this two ports here. They're not gonna seal very well, and you're actually gonna warp the valve body and create some issues. So whenever you go back with it, installing the snap ring, make sure that the opening is clear. There we go. Just tap it, and it should come out. So here's our pump, held by 10 millimeter bolts. Let's go ahead and rotate it so you guys can take a look at it. Now we're gonna get the internal parts from the barrel of the case. Remove it. I'm gonna need a Torx 30 to disassemble this. Let me get one just right quick. All right. This is our stator support. You want to remove it to disassemble the pump. Sealing rings, they come new in the kit. We're gonna disassemble this later with the valve body. Let's get that thing out of the way for now. Now let's go ahead and remove our drum. So these guys that drive these tow trucks, I mean, they put a lot of abuse on these transmissions. We've done a few of their tow trucks, you know, to this same company, and they've been held in pretty good. These are reverse frictions, as you can see. Already have a line on it. They are a little burnt. This is our reverse clutch hub. Just make sure that you remove all the bearings and keep them together. Get the case here out of the way a little bit. Overdrive clutch hub. Same thing here. Bearing. Another bearing. All right, let's continue with this thing. I had something overflowing over there, so I had to kind of put you guys on pause right quick. Now here, these are one-sided frictions. Overdrive frictions are the ones that get burned up. Usually, go ahead and get the case out of the way. These are the overdrive frictions, and you can see you can see that I felt it spin a little bit. Yeah, see that? This means that the lip seals are worn out, extremely worn out, and I can already see the friction linings flaking off of this clutch back here. Let's go ahead and take them all out. overdrive frictions. There's nothing here, it's just worn out. I can actually pick this up over here. Let me get the pick. The friction is debonding. You see that? We had some torrential rains for about a month already. I'm not sure if this tow truck got exposed to water, which is probably the case here that's going on. Trying to rescue some of them vehicles that got stranded in the water. So this is caused by water contamination, or cooling contamination also could do this. The bonding for the friction, it starts coming off. So we got internal teeth and external teeth. And the overdrive frictions are different than the underdrive frictions. The overdrive frictions are 49 thousandths of an inch, and the underdrive are 59 thousandths of an inch, 10 thousandths of an inch thicker. All right, this snapper right here is a little bit fun to remove, and I usually just support it with a case like that. I get my hammer, and then I look for the snap ring opening and try to go behind the snap ring. So the opening is right here. Let's go ahead and try that out. Let me find a thinner screwdriver. Here we go, right here. You get behind it, you hold it with, I'm holding it with my left hand. Now that we get one tip out like this, then we can just start taking the snap ring off. This is a tapered snap ring. The flat side goes down and the tapered side goes up. Sometimes this snap ring breaks. Very common on the 45s and the 545s RFEs. I've never seen these broken on the 68 RFEs, but it is an issue. And when you install the shift kit, now whenever you take this out, just pay attention the way that it comes out. As you can see that the step goes to the taper step goes up, and the square step goes down or to the underdrive and to the overdrive. Tapered overdrive and square underdrive. Here as well, you have to be very careful how this came out. As you notice, I just took it out and just lay it down the way it came out. Some of them have markings on it, some of them don't. As you see here, there's nothing here on this side, but on the front side we see a number 1. Some of them have it, some of them don't. But if you have one that doesn't have anything, whenever you want, before you take it out, just scribe an X, and that way you'll know which side this goes to. As you can see, we have a little step here, and it's recessed on the overdrive side of the plate. So if you put this backwards, your clearance for the overdrive is going to be too tight, and the clearance for your reverse is going to be too loose. So just pay attention to that. Go ahead and get the snap rings over there out of the way. And now we have the snap ring. The next snap ring is the seat. Same scenario here. This snap ring comes out fairly easily. Flat snap ring. And then we get the underdrive frictions out. And we see here, this is first gear, underdrive. And third gear, it's overdrive. Well, in the 4 speeds, overdrive, it's third gear. As we see here, we see the same situation here. friction lining flaking off in different locations. There, we see it here on a couple of frictions, and these are a little bit burned up. You know, as when they take off, I mean, they really race to get to their vehicles. They're really hammered on it, and they always like flip a coin, you know, to see who's going to take the vehicle. I mean, whenever there's an accident, I don't know if you ever seen that before where you live at, but we're in a big city, and there's a lot of competition, so they do abuse these trucks pretty good. So take a little wire snap ring from the input shaft to remove it. We're going to go here to the foot press in a little bit, and we're going to disassemble this drum. We also are going to check a little filter that goes on one of the pistons, and to see if it's loose or not. That's a very common issue, common problem with these units. All right, so now we get a long screwdriver with a little cutout. I've shown this before. And we get behind the snap ring, and the little cutout, you're going to use it to grab it and pull. It's a stiff snap ring, but it ain't too bad. Comes out easy, and installs a little difficult, but it ain't that bad. Now I usually grab some pliers and pull that thing out. Get some pliers here right quick. Snap ring pliers. So we have our fourth clutch frictions. You look in your catalog, that's your transmission parts catalog, to identify the frictions. Let's go ahead and check this. Frictions. This look in good shape. Let's go ahead and put them out of the way here for a minute. We have the intermediate frictions in there, and I already see a little bit of rust on that top steel. So there is a possibility that you got contaminated with rainwater rescuing vehicles. Intermediate frictions or second clutch. Get this out of the way. Now I'm just going to grab the whole planetary assembly, the gear train. Get the gear train out of here. And this one, we're just going to lay it to the side for now. Go ahead and this is a tapered snap ring. As you saw right there, I just got the little hook on it and brought it forward. Always the taper goes this way and the flat side goes towards the drum. This is our low reverse drum. The sprag is a little bit different than the 45 RFEs. The 45 RFEs, they actually have a snap ring that holds them together. If you hold it like this, like it came out of the drum, the inner part turns counterclockwise and locks to the clock the way it came out. Same thing on the 45 RFEs. Get that out of the way. Let's go ahead and check our low reverse frictions. And they're just wore out. They look okay. Yep. All right, so we got everything from the inside of the barrel of the case, and we have an empty case now. But we still need to take our line pressure sensor and remove that. This is the line pressure sensor. It fails a lot. 45 RFE, 68 RFEs. You'll get, if I remember correctly, it's a P0898 trouble code. This will burn. If this fails, this will burn your transmission. If this fails. This is a closed loop system. The computer monitors the line pressure through this sensor, and it determines what pressures does it need, and it uses the line pressure solenoid to adjust the proper pressures. And it's a continually learning transmission. You got the input speed sensor and the output speed sensor. It uses those two sensors to monitor the slippage. If it needs to increase line pressure, lower the line pressure, you know, for the upshifts, downshifts, and a total converter clutch apply. So this is very important. If this fails, the transmission is going to fail. You can change it as a preventive maintenance to eliminate, you know, problems down the road. But usually, whenever you have the P0898 trouble code, you already have problems inside the transmission. So you need to, you know, kind of prevent that. If you're a DIYer or whatever, you want to install one of those, I mean, you could. All right, so let me go ahead and clear the bench up right quick, and I'm going to come back with the valve body, and we're going to disassemble the valve body. We're going to look at some things that you need to pay attention on the 68 RFE, and then we're going to go to my foot press, and we're going to, or I'll bring the foot brakes over here to the bench, so we won't be going back and forth, and we'll disassemble this drum. All right, be right back. All right, instead of going to my foot press, I'm going to try and attempt to remove this snap ring right quick. It might come out, it might not. Let's go ahead and give it a try. There we go. So it may come out nice for you, but if it doesn't, then you're gonna need to use your foot press. So here's our balance pistons for our underdrive frictions. Get that thing out of the way right quick. Get our underdrive piston, and it is severely worn. The lip should be kind of like going out like that, and it's kind of flat. There's another snap ring here and here. Let's go ahead and remove that snap ring as well. Attaboy. This one has a tapered side to it on the inside of the snap ring, and it's flat on the back side. Instead of the tapered being on the outside, the tapered is on the inside, and the tapered side goes towards you. And this one, I mean, the top one is flat. All right, get the hammer here right quick, tap it out. This snap ring here, it's a wavy snap ring, just like the 604s or the 41Ts and the 42LEs. These are the lip seals that were worn. They are worn out. That's why the drum was spinning. It's lip sealed. The lip goes down. And you have two O-rings, one green and one red. There's nothing on this piston like the 604s or the little smaller units. They have lip seal in here. This one doesn't. There's another O-ring here, and as you can see that the O-ring is flat. It's actually squared now It's supposed to be a round O-ring, and this one's squared, worn out. There's another lip seal in here. And of course the lip goes down. You can see the lip. Now this piston, it is very critical that you check the little orifice filter that's in here. Let me just blow some air, a little bit of air through it. Check this out. This is a problem. This is a big problem on these units. See how easily that thing came out? I mean, I just blew some air through it just to clean it. There's an orifice in there. It's a little orifice filter. It just came out by itself. Let me see if I can I'm not sure we're going to be able to see the hole in there. We're not. No. But there is a little filter. This little filter has an orifice in it. If this thing were to pop out like it did, you will lose reverse and fourth gear as well, and some other gears on the 6-speed. I just can't remember what gears will you lose, but I know for sure that you will not have any reverse in fourth clutch whenever this happens. This is very common, and what I've been doing on the Transgo kits, they come, you know, a little bit orifice cup for the reverse input piston. There's 2 of them little cups come in the shift kits, and I skip that step on those, and I keep those little cups and with the same size orifice. I took the screen off the little screen filter here, and real small drill bits, you know, try to measure to see what size was that thing, and those little cups, they actually are the same size. Some kits have that little orifice filter. Most of the kits, it doesn't come with it. The only other option is for you to purchase this piston here. That's it. I mean, that's it for this drum here. Let's go ahead and get this thing out of the way. Let's get our valve, let's get our pump in there. Okay, so here's our pump. Torque's 25. Let's go ahead and remove them all. There's a spring that likes to break here for a torque converter clutch. Let's go ahead and check that one out. See what it looks like. These are a different length than the valve body bolts. I'll show you that in a minute once we get to the valve body portion of this teardown. Okay. Let's get them all out of the way. And just, he has 2 guide pins. Two guide pins. Now this model here, you got to pay attention to it. Here, the earlier models had 2 bolts that held the plate. This one doesn't. Make sure that if your plate has bolts that holds this plate, make sure you put them on there, because if you don't, you're gonna create a leak. Without the bolts, the fluid is just gonna go pass through it, and it has never happened to me before, so I'm not exactly sure what that would cause, but I've heard that your vehicle would not move those are missing. And of course this little lollipop looking thing, just like the 45's RFEs. Get that out of the way. Inspect the wear plate for wear and scoring. This one is just shiny and it feels pretty good, so there's nothing wrong with it. Also, it doesn't have a pump bushing, so this rides on the aluminum. You got to check that as well. When converters fails on this thing, sometimes it damages the pump. All that metal or contamination getting trapped on there. Torque converter clutch accumulator valve spring likes to break, which is this one here. Where's my pick? I'm gonna go ahead and just take it off so you guys can see. It's not broken, but this is a step that you must always not skip. It comes in the Transgo kit, or you can buy it from Sonex. It comes, I think, 3 or 5 in a little bag to repair 5 transmissions or 3 transmissions. And here is the accumulator piston, little accumulator, torque converter clutch accumulator. I'm just going to assemble it together so I won't lose any parts. And then we're going to get the valve body and disassemble it. All right, that's one thing that we need to inspect every time you disassemble one. We're going to install a Transgo kit on this one, so there's a new valve that's going to come here, and depending on the year model, it is going to depend where we're going to install here. The 3 springs for that comes in there, and some other parts. All right, let me get just this thing, push them out of the way. Let's get our valve body. All right, here we go. Same scenario. Remove all the bolts. I'm just going to take one off and get one pump bolt. And these are actually the same size. Yeah, they're the same size. So on this one you can mix them. I believe the 45s RFEs it's a different length of bolts. A couple of threads shorter. I think the pump bolts are the ones that are shorter. I'm not sure the year model on this. I haven't looked. I think it's like a 2011 or 2009. It's probably a 9. Given the fact that it has a solenoid pack with a white connector. I think 2011 or 2012 they have a gray connector solenoid pack. The late model transmissions, the 68 RFEs, they no longer have 7 check balls. They have 5 check balls. So I'm going to show you what to look for. Well, first pay attention where the check balls go. And if you're not sure, I'll show you here in a minute. Bathtub's rule of thumb: 2 holes, take the check ball. 1 hole, no check ball. I mentioned that before somewhere else in another video. All right. Go ahead and take all them bolts out. And like you saw, we measured them. They were the same length, so you can actually mix them up. This has 2 guide pins as well, just like the pump did. Spacer plate. There's nothing in here. You don't have to worry about misplacing any check balls. This plate, you might want to clean it up a little bit and just inspect the worm tracks. Sometimes this long channel here gets wore out and it starts digging into the plate and causing some cross leaks. Now, let me just drain a little bit of a fluid out of this valve body, and I already see that it doesn't have two check balls, one here and one here. You got to pay attention on which unit you're working on. This unit has only 5 check balls instead of 7. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and you don't have this 2. See this bathtub right here? Let's go ahead and take the check balls out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I did a diagnosis for one of the shops that they send me work sometimes, and the guy that built it put all 7 check balls, and they pulled it out a few times, and overdrive clutches were getting fried. They took it to the dealership. The dealership didn't find anything wrong, but they didn't pull the transmission out either. So he called me, hey, well, let's check it out, check all the electronics, all my circuits, because he was giving them a overdrive pressure switch code, and checked all the wiring and checked everything, you know, to see if it functioned well. For the pressure switches, you use a test light just to check, you know, with your scan tool. I'll probably show that later on. Okay. Now let's get back to this. We were getting carried away over here on something else. So we got the check ball that's right here. It has a very little tiny hole. We get to it right here. We have one hole. See where it's 2 bolt holes right here? Or it's in between, it's right here. One hole, no check ball. If you have 2 holes in the bathtub, which is right here, it's not cleaned up yet. See this right here? This is the middle bathtub, and you can see 2 holes. The good thing is that I didn't clean it up, and you can see the shape of the bathtubs. Here you see 1 hole, no check ball. Here's the other bathtub on the spacer plate. 1 hole, no check ball. So be very, very careful. You put check balls here, you're going to cause some issues. All right. 2011 is probably what it is. It has a white solenoid pack connector. This one actually retrofits all the way to 11. I believe 2012. I'm not sure. But they take a brake connector, solenoid pack. This spring, you really gotta pay attention how you take them out. The springs for the accumulators. Actually, I just take them one at a time out. Remove the accumulator. This is a late style plastic accumulator. The early style was aluminum. They changed to plastic for concerns of accumulator bore wear. And the plastic, of course, it doesn't wear the accumulator bore. And there's no longer the opening that was on top. I don't know if you noticed that there used to be like a little square opening on top of the accumulators, but they now have a hole. All right, you just want to line them up when you put them on the bench. That's 1. That's 2 accumulators. Line them up, and don't mix them up. I'm going to show you why in a minute. On this accumulator here, there is a different color spring, and it's a different strength of spring. And this one, of course, has a white spring, and it goes here. The cover also has some indentations here to push that white spring a little bit and make it firmer, but it doesn't take an inner spring. All right, let's take the bolts out. You have a little free floating valve here. Got to be careful that this plug, you won't lose it. As you see, it's going to come out fairly easy. If you're installing a transgo kit, these parts are included in the kit. You will get a new plug for this valve, and actually the valve comes in it as well. And you have the solenoid switch valve on this position here. This is all you have in your valve body. You just have two valves, the solenoid switch valve and this valve, well, and of course the manual valve, and this little I believe is a low reverse switch valve. But this is a very common problem on the 42 LEs. The solenoid switch valve wears out on those valve bodies. It's a Chrysler unit. It's the same concept, but on this one we have a pressure control solenoid right here, and then we have the line pressure sensor that I showed you that goes on the outside of the transmission. This one here. If this fails, the computer will command whatever is reading off of this one. So you got to be very, very careful. And then of course you have the rest of the solenoids in here in the solenoid pack. Transmission range sensor is an integral part of the solenoid pack as well. Temperature sensor is also part of this solenoid pack. So you could rebuild them if you have a bunch of solenoid packs laying around, but on this particular vehicles like this, that I mean they work real hard, I will not risk it. It's going to take a new solenoid pack, it's going to take a transgo shift kit, new line pressure sensor, all the pistons for the whole unit, the molded pistons for the unit. We're going to repair that piston here, repair that, put a little cup plug in there, and then you have to stake the little plug so it won't fly off. That's it. That's about it. 68 RFE out of a tow truck. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you're not subscribed yet, subscribe and click the like. That helps me a lot, and share it in your social networks. And once you are subscribed, all the new videos that I upload, you will be notified. Google will send you like a little email or whatever, and so you can watch our new videos. All right, my name is Hiram. Thanks for watching.